Playing blues is more than a feeling than it is getting together a group of notes to make the sound. And there are different ways of expressing blues. And if you read some of the material that I posted on my site, you'll get a chance to understand some of the history, some of the context of the blues. But the way to play the blues is mainly the first thing to tell you is to feel it. And beyond that, we can talk about some phrases. We can talk about a bunch of patterns and different scales, the pentatonic scale, also the blues scale. But at the base of understanding the blues and understanding how to play it is getting that feeling, and it's an emotion. So that said, let's deal with some of the basics, the foundational parts and elements of the blues. I mentioned the pentatonic scale, and that's basically a 5-note scale. 5 notes. It's basically the 1, flat 3, 4, 5, and flat 7. The blues scale, of course, is if you add the flat 5 or sharp 4. And again, we can play scales all day, but if you don't have that feeling, then you won't feel the blues. And here's the scale. I'm going to play the scale, but I'm going to play it with notes in different places and moving around and adding some embellishments. So as you saw, I didn't just play a scale. I moved around with the notes and put some expression and embellishments on each note. So that's how you're going to have to play the blues. Now, some other things to think about in developing your blues expression, and this is with jazz in general, is to develop language. And that's why the course and the title of what I talk about is called Jazz as a Language. You want to try to basically speak and say something through what you're doing, through what you're playing. And how to develop that is to basically combine phrases and words. So if you're going to be speaking, what am I doing now? I'm combining phrases and words and sentences together. And that's what you're doing with jazz. You're combining a lot of different phrases, sentences, thoughts together. And some of the best blues players to listen to develop your blues playing language, of course, is the old school artists, Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and even back to Robert Johnson and Blind Lemon Jefferson. You can go all the way back. But if you're trying to develop the blues sound on your particular instrument, you want to listen to some of the players that play your instrument and how they interpreted the blues. So Coltrane is definitely what everybody listens to for saxophone, but also going back to Johnny Hodges and even going back to Sidney Bechet. So if you also want to deal with the trombone, J.J. Johnson. If you deal with trumpet, you want to go back again to Louis Armstrong and how he played the blues. So this is what you want to do to develop your language on your instrument, but also you want to go beyond your instrument and stretch yourself out and try to hear some other things on other instruments. But I've given you, I have several documents that I'm going to be posting on my site that you'll be able to check out, and some exercises, some blues patterns and phrases that you can use to basically develop your language by playing the blues.